Why football has yellow and red cards? What if I told you football once had no yellow cards and no red cards? Hard to believe, right? Imagine watching the World Cup today, and a referee simply shouted at a player without anyone knowing what the decision meant. Sounds chaotic. But that's exactly how football used to work. So why did football invent yellow and red cards? And why do these two small pieces of plastic control the biggest sport on earth? The answer begins with one of the most confusing moments in football history. In the next 5 minutes, you'll discover why yellow and red cards were created, the real story behind their colors, how they completely changed football, and a few surprising facts that most fans have never heard. Let's jump in. Football was once extremely confusing. Believe it or not. For many years, football referees didn't carry colored cards. If a player committed a serious foul, the referee simply spoke to them. Sometimes the referee warned a player. Sometimes they sent the player off. The problem? Players often didn't understand what the referee was saying. Fans had no idea either. And television viewers were even more confused. Imagine thousands of people watching a match. But nobody knows whether a player received a warning or had been sent off. It created arguments everywhere. One famous example happened during the 1966 FIFA World Cup. Several players misunderstood the referee because of language differences. The situation became so confusing that football officials realized something had to change. Mini opinion. A global sport needed a language that everyone could understand. And that language became colors. Pattern interrupt. But here's the crazy part. The idea didn't come from another football match. It came from something people see every single day. The brilliant traffic light idea. After the 1966 World Cup, English referee Ken Aston began thinking about a better system. While driving through traffic, he stopped at a traffic light. Red, yellow. Then the idea suddenly clicked. Everyone understands traffic lights. Yellow means be careful. Red means stop. So why not use the same idea in football? It was simple. It worked in every language. And nobody needed an explanation. Soon, football adopted yellow cards for warnings. And red cards for sending a player off. It was one of the smartest rule improvements in football history. The first FIFA World Cup to officially use yellow and red cards was in 1970. And players instantly understood the decisions. But getting a yellow card isn't always bad. Sometimes it's actually a smart decision. Let me explain what yellow and red cards really mean. A yellow card is an official warning. It tells a player, be careful. One more serious mistake could bring bigger consequences. Players receive yellow cards for things like rough tackles, stopping attacks unfairly, wasting time, or showing disrespect toward officials. Now, a red card is much more serious. A player shown a red card must leave the field immediately. And their team usually continues with one fewer player. Imagine playing an entire match with only 10 players against 11. That's a huge disadvantage. Sometimes players even accept a yellow card on purpose. For example, if an opponent is about to score, a defender might commit a foul to stop the attack. They receive a yellow card, but prevent an almost certain goal. Risky? Absolutely. Strategic? Sometimes. Football isn't only about skill. Sometimes it's also about making difficult decisions in a split second. But here's something even stranger. Not every foul leads to a card. So how do referees decide? How referees decide? Many people think every foul deserves a yellow card. That's not true. Referees consider several things. How dangerous was the challenge? Did the player try to win the ball? Was it reckless? Did it stop an obvious attack? Or was it violent behavior? Sometimes two similar tackles receive different decisions. Why? Because football depends on context. Today's referees also receive help from VAR in certain situations. VAR can review serious incidents, especially possible red cards. But even with technology, the referee makes the final decision. Professional referees spend years training to recognize dangerous challenges quickly. It's much harder than it looks from the sofa. So after all these years, has the card system actually worked? The answer is surprisingly simple. Why yellow and red cards changed football forever. Today, you don't need to speak English, or Spanish, or Japanese, or Arabic. One yellow card, everyone understands. One red card, everyone understands. That's the beauty of football. Simple rules that connect billions of people. Yellow and red cards made matches clearer, fairer, and much easier for fans around the world to follow. They also remind players that actions have consequences. Sometimes, the smallest inventions create the biggest changes. And two little colored cards became one of football's most recognizable symbols. Next time you watch a football match, pay close attention when the referee reaches into their pocket. There's much more happening than just showing a card. It's a rule that has shaped football for more than 50 years. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And tell us in the comments, do you think referees give too many yellow cards today, or not enough?